Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. Today we're going to do a weekend games segment that I do every few weeks. Just a little bit of a recap since it's been a while. It's a weekly segment I do every few weeks because the key to mastering inconsistency is to maintain a semi-consistent inconsistency consistently, or something like that. Again, no need to like, no need to subscribe, not even a need to subscribe to liking me. It's a low budget conversation video piece that I do along with the rest of my channel. Again, I don't do free copies. I buy what I review and talk about, and this is all about sincere joy of board gaming. So what have I been up to? Well, let's talk about it. How's life? How are you guys doing? It's been a few weeks. I've done a few videos here and there, but nothing too terribly substantial. It's summer. I had expected to be in Phoenix now, but with lots of grandkids around the house and me enjoying the grandkids, well, I've done a lot more, um, well, not so much of my usual thought of being nomadic. I am nomadic though. I am living in a little RV out on the property, and then I come in here and do my work, and life goes on. And it's finally up into the 70s up here in the Pacific Northwest. But I'm actually not going to complain. I'm going to be grateful that we're not anywhere near flash flooding, which I am tremendously grieved about for those. But how are all of you guys doing? Is everyone keeping safe and healthy this summer? It looks like it'll be 110 degrees next week in Arizona, and I, for one, am excited about it. Other news, let's just get right on to the news. So what is new today? Conquest of Paradise is one of the first games I ever reviewed on this channel. As in fact, was one of the games that kicked this channel on to going almost 10 years ago now, oddly enough. And I remember it still low camera, didn't know lighting, didn't know anything, still enjoyed it. Probably one of the most viewed board games still, and from people who liked it. The new Kickstarter is interesting. There's some changes. There's not rule changes. There are aesthetic changes that I think that I'm actually pretty interested in. I went ahead and backed it. It's kickstarted by a company called Phalanx. And that's the only point of trepidation. I hope that they come through because they have been either really, really good at getting stuff delivered or they've not been good. I have games that arrive in wonderful condition and I'm super happy for. And then I have, for example, Coalitions is a game that Phalanx has. It's been almost 4 years past its delivery date. And so I went ahead and backed it. It's the one risk I'm going to take this year in the hopes that because of Kevin McPortland and his incredible zeal for the topic with both this and Banish the Snakes, I'm really on board with both his his immersion into the topic. In fact, I'm inclined to get Conquest of Paradise back on the table again. The original version is just fine, but I am looking forward to that in the hopes that it pans out. In other news, Vantage, a game from Stonemaier, is set up and started taking orders yesterday. I went ahead and gave it a shot. It looks like it's kind of a Tales of the Arabian Nights, Seventh Continent kind of thing vibe. Again, a little risky, but I'm going to go ahead and take the risk on that. Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition, which some of you have already noticed from some of my previous endeavors, but if you haven't had a chance to get a copy and this game is at all intriguing to you, this is the game, this is the time, now is the day to get it. In other news, Memoir 44 is getting a Star Wars facelift of sorts. The Battle for Hoth is going to be coming out, which takes Memoir 44's concept from Days of Wonder and translates it into Star Wars. And so, given that I've finally collected, I think, almost everything about Memoir 44 that I'm going to need for the next snowpocalypse or fire apocalypse or whatever I've got. And finally, a game arrived a couple months ago from Kickstarter from Philip Dewberry, who's known for quite a few different things, Harvest and a lot of biblical themed games and such, and also Black Orchestra. Order of the Day Normandy is meant to be another Normandy invasion, but with a twist of being about cards and divisions and done in a way that hasn't been seen before. I set the game up. It has not been the easiest rulebook, even by a nominal stretch of the imagination to get through, but that's what we're going to be looking at as far as news. What else is new? Well, you tell me. What am I missing? And with that, let's get to question of the week. What's the best board game based on a movie or TV show? I've gotten this recently because there have been quite a few that have come out that honestly haven't sucked. We've had video games become board games. That's an easy one. Like Elder Scrolls is, yeah, amazing, and quite a few. And there's I could come up with quite a few, but as far as board games based on a movie or TV show, I mean, I'm just gonna get rid of the Lord of the Rings and Star Wars one right now because Star Wars Rebellion is the best for, and Middle Earth Quest for Lord of the Rings. But that's book series. Let's go with that. And then, um, sorry, Star Wars is the best for the movies. Lord of the Rings is best for the board game. But beyond those big ones, there's been a lot of games based on movies or TV shows that just didn't. I mean, you're not going to find them. Duck Dynasty had fun with that, but let's not call that a high quality entertainment. But honestly, one of the ones that comes recently to mind that I think, despite the fact that its artwork was despised by many, not me, but I could see it being updated, was The Last Kingdom board game, which I think did tremendous justice to the series in all of its intricacies and betrayals and such. That's one that I think would be high on my list of ones that I think did an excellent job of replicating the movie or the TV show. There's other themes. Jaws was also another one from Prospera a few years ago that was good. There's been some ones that are like, it's okay, but not great. E.T. was a really good one too. That one actually I thought was really great with the cooperative nature of the game, and the components were beyond measure. But yeah, so those are the three that come to mind right now. There's a lot of them lately that have risen in quality level that I think deserve mention. In the same way that I've seen quite a few video games become movies that don't stink. That's not something I would have said 5 years ago. So anyway, that's the question of the week now. Playing, watching, and reading. What am I playing lately? Fields of Fire Deluxe Edition. You'll see it on the table behind me. It's probably not going to go away. It hasn't been gone away in months. It is an all-consuming, imbuing yourself in Fields of Fire is an exercise. It's not an act. It's a pastime. It is a pastime unto its own. Company of Heroes Second Edition. Not only did I take it off this table, but I actually created a larger table over in the other room that is now large enough to be able to finally hold all the pieces. I actually bought, if you go to Home Depot, they have these mats that are 4x6 that are just flat rubber mats. And I took two of those and slapped them onto two tables and made a really nice, grippy board game table for cheap. No, it doesn't have cup holders, although I might solder some on if I feel like it. But since I'm not here to make everyone go, wow, what a game table, because the rest, if I got one of those fancy game tables in here, they would look at that table and go, wow, that table is way too good for the rest of this. So let's just cut to the chase. So on that, and other reviews, again, I'm getting Order of the Day Normandy in. Again, trickier than it needed to be. Looks like it's going to be a fun game. Rulebook is just really not well done. And Toy Battles. This one came out of nowhere with a surprise recommendation, and honestly, it's super fun. It really is. You've got little toys and you're playing with them, and you place them on the board. The rules are simple. It's kind of like Small World with its little units have abilities, but the actual interesting thing here is the terrain. You've got 8 maps, double-sided, so you get 8 maps, and each of these maps has different locations. The locations have special abilities along with the units. So instead of having to have all these different units and different specials and whatever, it's like all the units are always the same. They always have the special ability. Oh, I can make you discard one of your units. Oh, I can beat one of your units here and there and stuff. No dice, no determinism. Not randomness is just which units you get out of your pool at any given time. But the terrain itself adjusts things, and so very, very clever. So that's what I've been playing lately. Watching lately, on the other hand, has been interesting. Again, I was talking about movie series from board game series. There's 3 right now that have just. Halo is the one I'm finishing up. I didn't honestly get into. I mean, I didn't play a bunch of Halo. I was playing a bunch of my own games we were working on at the time, and so I get it. That's fine stuff. But I'm actually really impressed with Halo in first season. I don't know if others are too. In the same way that I played watching Fallout. I thought Fallout was just nice. I just thought they did a great job of really setting themselves in the game. Arcane, I just started, and that's the League of Legends animated one, and even if the story itself wasn't necessarily starting to be compelling, it's a little formulaic in that regard. The animation is insanely good. Anyway, and of course there's there's a lot. Anyway, and then Grimm, I started rewatching that one. At the time when my kids were little, we watched Once Upon a Time for a while, and then it got stupid. But we watched Grimm for a couple episodes and went, yeah, this is too dark for my wee ones. And so I'm watching it again. I started watching it like 2 or 3 times and got through the first season and a half. I'm like, okay, I may just jive through and finish it. It's kind of getting into a lull again, but hey, what the heck? We'll go on. And finally, The Chosen. I'm picking that up and watching that again and enjoying it just as much as I did the first time. And as for reading lately, I'm in the book of Isaiah now, having finished all of Psalms and Proverbs. Company Commander, because of my love for Fields of Fire, a recommendation was made to read Company Commander, which is one of the best narrative books that I've read in quite a while on the topic of World War combat. I don't know why I haven't read it before, but it's tremendously entertaining. I can read that on the treadmill and not fall asleep and bang my head on the track. And then I'm revisiting The Unseen Realm again. I read Angels by Michael Heiser, and now I'm reading it again. Kind of like a continuous passion anyway in that regard. And then I'm going to start a new segment called To Err is Human. Originally, I had Tumbleweeds of Time, but as time went on, I basically got we went through a lot of eras and ages. This time, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to get you see if you can answer it. Why not? Let's have a little fun. There's a game that I'm going to pick a top-rated game or one that's well-known. I'm going to describe it. 2 truths and a lie, or 1 truth and 2 lies. You'll never know. And I want you to see if you can guess which one it is. The game simulates a centuries-long global rivalry between 2 European empires and uses action points for strategic decisions. Is that a truth or a lie? Its designers previously worked together on a modern-era political game that has players managing U.S. domestic policy. True or lie? Despite being a deep strategic title, it features no combat mechanics, only diplomacy and economic competition. Got any guesses? Got any guesses? It's Imperial Struggle, which I think this is 1.5 truths and 1.5 lies, to be honest with you, the way it's described. But Imperial Struggle is one I need to get back to the table. Unlike Twilight Struggle, it doesn't have a digital version. Please make one. And the analog version is not as easy to set up, but it's richer, deeper, longer in many regards than Twilight Struggle. But Twilight Struggle still reigns supreme as my top game. And that, my friends, is the week in games. And what a time it is to be alive. We've got so many great games and so many different venues, and I am just grateful as heck to be part of it. So I hope you all are doing well. Keep in touch, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.